The doorman barely glanced at me as I approached, slipping past him and down the stairs into the basement club, the stale air thick with cigarette smoke. No one here knew who I was. No one cared. It was a risk, but I'd had to come. The wig that concealed my real hair, the long trench coat that hung almost to my ankles, the glasses from a dress-up box, they lent me a new persona. My own mother wouldn't have recognized me, let alone Lena Aldridge. She may have possessed both common sense and ambition, but from what I'd learned about her, she rarely used the two together. Why else would she still be working at the Canary Club? The place was a dive, but it was packed. The drinks were cheap, and the clientele was mostly made up of young couples, none of whom gave me a second glance. I lurked at the back of the room, out of place without a companion by my side. The club wasn't as sleazy as I'd expected, a pleasant surprise. Apart from the owner, that is. I could see Tommy Scarsdale sitting right at the front where I'd been told he would be, on show for the crowd. A too young girl leaned into him and he gave her a sloppy-looking kiss. He was more than old enough to be her father. He deserved everything coming to him. I slid behind a table in the back, out of sight, as Lena was announced to the stage. I'd heard so much about her that seeing her for the first time, it was as though I already knew her. I ordered a drink from a girl whose skirt was short enough to show off her stocking tops. The waitress's cheeks were rouged like a clown's, and her caked mascara had begun to flake in the steam caused by a low ceiling and damp weather. Every newcomer laden down with a wet coat and a sodden umbrella to add to the humidity. Lena can sing, I'll give her that. Her dress was cheap, and she looked like she'd rather be somewhere, anywhere else. But every man in the audience was watching her, most of the women too. What must that feel like, to hold 60 or so random strangers in the palm of your hand? A temporary sort of power, but still. Beside me, two couples were trying to force themselves into a space made for one, the girlfriends giggling as they squeezed onto the same chair. Here, I offered my table, standing up as I pushed my untouched drink away. I'm leaving in a moment anyway. They smiled and thanked me, then lost interest. I loitered by the exit, my heart beating hard, in time to the drums on stage. Not long now, as long as everything went to plan. I watched Tommy Scarsdale knock back his drink, an old-fashioned, to which he had added his own sprinkling of cyanide. A green-bound Agatha Christie novel from Hatchards on Piccadilly gave me the idea. The best sixpence I've ever spent. It wasn't long before he realised something was wrong. His hands clutching at his neck, ripping at his tie, trying to catch a breath. Lucky for him, it was over quickly. Not that I could see. Being right at the back, those closer stood to get a better look at the dying man. Macabre, really. It didn't matter that I couldn't see the man on the floor, that I had to imagine his body seizing in the throes of death. I could see Lena just fine. The horror on her face, the realization that this man she had despised, had so often wished dead, was dying right before her. She stood there, frozen to the spot, then looked across at her friend, the new widow, their eyes meeting, shared guilt. The first doorman charged down the stairs and began to push his way through the crowd. When the second doorman appeared, I slipped past him while his back was turned and ran lightly up the steps before anyone could stop me. Outside, the rain had ceased. I took it as a sign of my good fortune continuing and walked home on a cloud of jubilation. I'd done it. I'd actually pulled it off. There was no turning back now.